Welcome back to my channel. It is LucidityLeah. I'm Leah. Thank you for tuning in. Today is gonna be a video that should have been filmed like a month ago. It is very long overdue, and it's the video where I talk about the products I've used when I bleached my hair. As you can see, you know it's overdue because my hair is basically grown out. My roots is fully in. But we're gonna get into it today and give you guys some tips and tricks on what I did. The video is more catered towards, you know, women of color, black women. Not to say everybody else can't watch, but it is really catered towards us because as I've gone through the journey of being blonde I've been blonde since June of this year, and it's November, so. I've been blonde for 6 months. I've been blonde for half a year. I think I'm very qualified to speak on just the whole process of bleaching, and especially, like I said, this video is catered towards black women, so I definitely want to speak on different tricks and tips I've learned with our textured hair and how to do it in order to preserve our hair and make sure that it's as minimal damage as possible. What I've noticed since being blonde is the big stigma when it comes to us really dyeing or bleaching our hair. I feel like I've dealt with so many like backhanded comments when it comes to being blonde as a black woman. It's kind of interesting too because I feel like a lot of them are people just being ignorant. Is your hair okay? How did you do it? I didn't even know your hair texture could do that. Like, is it your hair?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And people are just trying to touch me, which is a whole separate video that I feel like Solange had already addressed, but definitely, again, do not touch my hair. Like I said, that's a whole nother video, but I think that I wanted to cater it more towards women of color and black women because I want us to be able to do styles like this and to not come off as, wow, I've never seen that before, or people being so ignorant to the fact that we can dye our hair, we can color our hair, we can do whatever crazy color we want to, and if we want to bleach our hair 10 times, we're going to bleach our hair 10 times. I definitely wanted to make this video an empowering video when it came to hair and it came to bleaching and dyeing our hair blonde. I feel like a movement has already started because when I go on Instagram, I continuously see, like, for me, I always have seen black women dye our hair, and I've seen growing up multiple times of women having bleached hair, of their hair being like platinum. Like, my hair is kind of like a Goldilocks, like it's given very much like a yellowy blonde. But I've seen women with, you know, like storm colored hair, and I think it's a beautiful thing, you know. I feel like it complements our skin so well. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I wanted to begin with listing a lot of the products that I used to bleach my hair and the benefits that I've had from using them as I done it. I bleached my hair a total of 3 times within the last 6 months, and I've touched it up a little bit from time to time. These products are products that I would go back to when I bleach my hair, and I've had a lot of trial and error with a few products. Some I wouldn't use again, you know, just because it didn't give me much. But the ones I have listed today are the products that I really found helped the most, especially when it comes to the repairing after bleaching. I think that many people mess themselves up when they bleach their hair because they don't focus on, you know, repairing it, and not just repairing it right after you bleach it, but like weeks to come. Keeping up with the status of your hair, how it's feeling, assessing it is a big thing, I will say, but we'll get into that a little later. I wanted to start off with the bleaches I use. I use the Zoto Professional's Age bleach, and I use the Wella Bleach, which is a very well-known bleach. I feel like a lot of people use Wella Bleach. Both those bleaches I didn't have a problem with. Bleach is bleach. Like, no matter what bleach you use, you're gonna get a little bit of damage, you know. It's just how it is. Or maybe you're lucky and you don't get none. Bless you. I use the Holy Grail developer, which is the salon care developer. That one worked fine for me. To put in the mixture of the bleach and the developer, I use the Ion Absolute Perfection, which is like a little like shot that you put into your bleach, and it kind of just preserves the hair a little bit more. I didn't notice a huge difference in using it, but I will say that there probably was one, and I used it the second time. I think it's just, you know, to create a barrier when you're putting the bleach in, and, you know, again, just preventing as much damage as possible. I would say as a tip, if you're putting just a little bit of bleach, like I know a lot of people when they bleach their hair, they don't just pour a bunch in so that they're not wasting bleach and they're not wasting developer. So I would say if you know you're probably going to need a little bit more and you're going to have to do another mixture when you're like bleaching your hair, I would use half of the Ion, and then when you do it again, use the rest of the half of the Ion. Or if you see that you're only going to need a certain amount, pour the rest of it in there, just so that you don't have to buy an extra one if you're doing like another section of your hair. You already have a little bit extra on deck and it'll still protect all of your head. I noticed my second time that I just poured it on there because I thought that the bleach developer was enough to cover my whole head. And when it came to my front section, I didn't have any of the absolute perfection in the mixture. It was just bleach and developer. You don't have to have this product, but it is added protection for your hair when you bleach it. I noticed when I was really cautious and sectioning off my hair and making sure my hair was, you know, detangled fully, that is probably the biggest tip I could give you, is detangle your hair fully and thoroughly. The second time I bleached my hair, I didn't thoroughly make sure it was detangled, which I thought I did, but it wasn't, and it caused more knotting than anything, and it was due to that. Also, I had to do with me taking my braids out and then going right into bleaching and not even taking the time to like give my hair a second to breathe because it had just came out of like knotless braids. So don't do what I did. And also, do not just comb a little bit and then go into the bleaching process. You will mess up your hair. Thank God my hair wasn't as bad and I was able to get most of those knots out with minimal damage, but it could have been a lot worse for my hair if I didn't notice it. And another thing was when I went to do my protein treatment, I hadn't even noticed the knots because I was just trying to, you know, replenish my hair, and it caused even more knotting because my hair now was hard and I was trying to pull knots out of it. Next came down to, you know, after I got the bleach on my hair and everything, I ended up putting like a plastic bag over my head, which is what I had done the first time. I always just put a plastic bag and let it sit for a while. Definitely continuously check on your hair. Don't just leave it and then be like, okay, whatever. Or don't just leave it and do just what the back of it says. Really look at your hair, because I ended up my second time bleaching my hair again because I just rinsed it out. I felt like it was on my hair for too long. But if I had just waited probably like 10 more minutes, my hair would have been up to the color I needed in order to use the toner that I wanted to use. So just assess your hair. You know, you can pull a strand, and if your hair is not like stringing or you don't see anything crazy, leave it on for a couple more minutes. Depending on what color blonde you want to do is how light your hair needs to be. I've seen people leave bleach on for like a while, but they're only going up to a certain color in the toner. And always look online for the toner you're going to use and what your hair color needs to be in order for that toner to work properly, because you may not even need to bleach as much depending on what you're going to use. I have used a total of 2 toners. The first toner was the Wella T14, and I used that toner when I first did my hair back in June. That toner has more of like a ash gray look to it, and I wanted my hair at that time to be the lightest as possible, not knowing much about, you know, bleaching and where your hair needs to be in order to do certain colors. So when I did that one, I was like, oh, well, I can't, because I knew I couldn't use T18 because my hair was not where it needed to be to use T18. Right now, I feel like I'd be a good candidate to use T18, but at that time I wasn't. It wasn't about to work the way I thought. So I ended up using that one, and I really liked the results. I can insert a picture here on how it looked. And it gave me, like I said, a very like ashy, it kind of did look like Storm, but it was more of like a grayish blonde. Second toner I used was T11, and that's what I used the second time I did my hair, which was back in September. It gave me, it was like a beige blonde. I really did like it. It wasn't my like first choice, but as weeks went on, I was like, oh, I kind of like this color, and it gave me more of like a yellow Goldilocks look. And I noticed with this one, it has faded a little bit, but you wouldn't notice because it's a beige color. So my hair still looks as it did when I first bleached it and put the toner on. The biggest tip I could give is when you're figuring out what kind of blonde you want to be, because there's so many different types of blonde, research that blonde and like look up pictures on Pinterest and stuff, and then go off of that and how you want your toner to look, and go off of that when it comes to your bleaching, because that will save you like so much time, and you'll end up getting as close as possible to what you want, if not just what you want. And it's all trial and error. Like, don't get discouraged if you bleached your hair, you did the toner, and it wasn't like as close as you wanted it to be. Wait a couple weeks, wait a month or two, and you can do it again. Because your hair has been lightened, it'll be so much easier to achieve the color that you want to do. I'm gonna go through the steps of what I did right after I ended up bleaching and toning my hair, just to give you an idea of the process after and how I was able to preserve my hair really well, especially with curly hair. Each time I finished, I always had a curl in my hair still. Like, my hair wasn't completely damaged. I still was able to style it. What I would recommend is right after you bleach it and you do your toner, go straight into a conditioner. I know a lot of people say go and shampoo it, but I feel like when you shampoo it, you're just drying your hair out even more. I would say give yourself a thorough like cleaning. Like, even if you were to put the shampoo on really quickly and just go over to make sure that you got your toner and your bleach out completely, do that and then go straight into a conditioner, a deep conditioner, something that's going to replenish your hair right away. When I was talking about the Ion Absolute Perfection, there is a second step to it. I didn't use the second step, but I've seen a lot of people online use the second step, which is what you would use right after you bleach. And it's just to replenish your hair. Again, like, I didn't use it, but I've heard great things about it. You could even buy that and put that right on your hair right after you finish and just let that sit in your hair so your hair can get some strength again. You're stripping your hair of, you know, protein, you're stripping your hair of a lot of the nutrients that it needs. So you want to replenish that right before you go into the whole steps of like washing it and everything. I feel like it just makes a difference in the texture and the state of your hair. I would leave the deep conditioner on maybe for like 30 to 40 minutes and just sit, like, let your hair sit. You could put a bag over your head. That's another thing. Don't waste your money on getting caps and stuff that you're gonna have to throw away anyway. Get you a plastic bag out the cabinet. On my Global Color, no, we put a plastic bag to our conditioner. So just put the plastic bag over your head, let your hair sit and just marinate in that. Don't try to comb it, don't try to do the most. Just put the hair in plastic bag, sit down for a second, take a break. I noticed when it came to the bleaching process, girl, you will be tired.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today drained me.
I talked to somebody else and they were like, I was beat after I finished bleaching my hair, and I felt that, like, right after I finished bleaching my hair, I was so tired. Like, I had to sit down. Like, I was so physically tired from just, you know, the process of doing it. And I had my sister help me, so it was kind of like, she was tired, I was tired. Take a second, just take a second and chill. And also, you don't have to do a conditioner, you can also do a treatment. One of the treatments that I really loved was the Ion Effective Care treatment, and you can put that right after as like the conditioner for right after you bleach and stuff, or you can do that at the end step as like your final conditioner. That right there, I just loved it, and I felt a difference in my hair after I used it. I used a sample pack, so I loved how Sally's had so many samples. You could just get like a big thing of samples and try those out and see what you like. I bought a couple samples the first time I did it because I didn't really know what was like good or not besides what I researched, and that's a product I would buy a full-size bottle. I used that product right after I bleached my hair, and my hair already felt a difference. What I did right after I went in with the conditioner is then I did my shampoo, and I was very gentle. Be very gentle with your hair. You just finished bleaching your hair. You don't need to be pulling on your head and doing the most. Like, just be very gentle, very, very soft with your hair. It's gonna feel very limp. Just be kind to it. Don't be trying to rush and do the most. Your hair has gone through it. Just remember, it's been traumatized. Like, be kind and gentle to it. Shampoo and conditioner that I used was JOICO. I feel like JOICO has been a staple for me for years. My mother loves JOICO, and just from her using it, I've used it and I've had nothing but good things to say. I use the moisture recovery. It's not a drying shampoo, so when you're using it, your hair doesn't feel like it's being stripped too bad. Conditioner you're going in with, just again to replenish your hair because you just shampooed. So you don't have to do this too long because you had already just conditioned your hair or did a treatment on your hair beforehand. I go in with like a quick one. My favorite one has been the 3-Minute Miracles by Aussie. Anybody who knows that conditioner is like crack. Like, my hair, it has never felt better. And I'll say any Aussie product I used, I love. Like, even before I was bleaching, anytime my hair felt a little like, or it just wasn't feeling where it needed to be, put a 3-Minute Miracles on, or put any Aussie product and your hair is gonna come back to life. So what I did was put the 3-Minute Miracles on because, again, I just conditioned and did a treatment, and then I shampooed, and then I just did that one more time just to make sure my hair was soft again, because then we're going to be going into a protein treatment. So the protein treatment, like, if you don't buy any product, if you don't listen to anything I said from this video, listen to the protein treatment part, because this has been a lifesaver. Like, I owe everything to a prayer to Jesus Christ in the protein treatment, because my hair would not have recovered the way it did. Many people don't use protein treatments, and this is why their hair just be hard, brittle, don't want to move no more, just stiff, because they don't know to use one, or they just didn't use a good one. My favorite holy grail brand of protein treatment is the CAAGID 2-step protein. When I tell you they put their foot in this product, like, they really did. I've used other protein treatments before. I don't remember the other brand I use. It's a well-known brand, but I forgot the name of it, and it worked. I think it was Ion's protein treatment. My hair did come back to life, but it just didn't give the result that CAAGID would have gave me. So the way that the 2-step protein works is, step 1 is kind of like a liquidy, like, it kind of smells bad, but you put that on your hair and you saturate your hair with it. Like, saturate your hair with it, put a towel down on you, because like I said, it smells kind of weird. Put it on your hair and really marinate your hair. Make sure each section has it on it. Instantly your hair is going to start to dry, and you know you're doing it right if your hair felt like ramen noodle. Like, it should look like a ramen noodle pack. After that, I would say get under a hooded dryer or use a blow dryer. Either steps of those, or you can just let it air dry. I would prefer you use heat with it so that you can definitely make sure all your hair is dry. I usually wait about 45 minutes or as long as it takes for it to dry. It usually doesn't take longer than an hour. After that, I rinse it out. After you rinse it out, your hair is going to feel crazy. Like, it's going to feel crazy. Your next step is the balancing moisturizer. And this should be your last step when it comes to like conditioner, treatment, everything. You will notice a complete difference in your hair after you use the AFG 2-step protein. Like I said, it's not a holograph for nothing. I'm not getting sponsored. But if any product that I used to make my hair come back to life, it was that one. Another thing I will say about protein treatments is you need to keep up with them. So you can do a protein treatment every 4 to 6 weeks. I always mark on my calendar when I do my protein treatment so that I 4 to 6 weeks later can do it again, because it really helps with keeping your hair healthy. You can do 5,000 conditioners, deep conditioners, but if your hair don't got no protein, your hair don't got no protein. Like, it's limp, it's dead. Another product I really love is the Pantene Miracle Rescue Shots. Those I was skeptic about, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw them on the commercial, I was like, I don't know. Like, I feel like these were kind of just like a scam. But I went anyway because my hair really needed something. And I found them and I tried it out. My hair felt great. You could definitely do that if your hair is feeling limp. Another conditioner that I really love is the Mega Growth one. I noticed how strong my hair felt after using it, and I ended up buying again, that was another sample that I got. I ended up buying a full container of it. So I wanted to touch on just some natural things you can do to your hair, treatment wise, if you're, a little reserved about buying a bunch of products, or you just want to you look for those alternatives first. I love an aloe vera mask. I've used aloe vera mask for years, and it has always given me like a good result. I know some people don't like it because they say it dries their hair out, but again, test it out and see. I've used that before and my hair comes back so soft, so buttery. My face, this ain't even face video, but using aloe vera on your face consistently, your skin will look so amazing. So definitely give that a try. You can do that like 2-3 times a week if you wanted to. I've seen people say it grows their hair too. I haven't really seen anything with the growth part, but I know that it makes a difference in the health of your hair. Another great thing is rice water. I feel like rice water has been like the craze for so long. I definitely say that rice water has grown my hair. Another thing you can do is a hot oil treatment. I love a hot oil treatment. Like, it just makes your hair feel so much better and smoother. And you can use oil that you get from, like, you already have, or you can go buy like a specific hot oil treatment from the beauty supply store. Any kind of oil works. You could do like olive oil, jojoba oil, get you some grapeseed. Those are really great oils to use for that. And it's so easy. You just heat it up and put it on your scalp, let it sit, go under the dryer, and your hair just feels significantly better. Going into oils, I think the biggest thing you could do is put oil on your hair right before you're gonna wash it, especially coconut oil. Coconut oil will be your best friend when it comes to having bleached hair. Saturate your hair in coconut oil, let it, be in there for a second. You can even heat it up and do it. Use that as a hot oil treatment and really just saturate your hair. Some people will put it in their hair, put their hair in like 2 braids and sleep in it. You can do that too. Just let it really sit in your hair for a while, and it makes a difference in the softness and the texture of your hair. So if you're dealing with like really, really dry hair after bleaching, get you some coconut oil and really saturate your hair. Tips that have helped me would be, main one, leave your hair alone. I feel like this is the biggest one. Don't keep touching your hair, being in your hair after you bleach, after you do a process, any kind of process with your hair. Have a protective style. This is especially for my Black women. Put your hair in a protective style. Like, right after a month or so after I bleached my hair, I was like, I need to put my hair in braids. It just made a difference in the health of my hair because I had left it alone. So whether that be, do a flexi rod set and every week and just let your hair throughout the week, let the curls fall and let it flow. Don't keep manipulating it. Don't keep trying to style it every day, comb it out every day, doing the most with it. Really just let your hair sit and breathe. Like, again, you got to remember, you just went through a whole process. Your hair needs the time to take a second to itself. So just leave it alone and relax. Find something you can do that is the least manipulation as possible and stick with that and stick with the routine to that. The second time I bleached my hair, I ended up just ponytailing it because I got lazy. And that made a difference because when it was time to get my ends clipped, it was a hot mess. So don't do what I did. And this is just a tip in hair care in general. Take the time out to really plan your styles and figure out months ahead of what you want to do with your hair. That'll really help with preserving your hair and preserving your length. Another tip is avoid really washing your hair like so often. I'd say if you have hair that gets dirty really quickly, weekly basis, wash your hair. Don't be trying to wash your hair every day or be trying to wet it and do the most every single day. That goes hand in hand with not manipulating it so much. When you have bleached hair, again, your hair is not as strong as it was before. You're washing and shampooing your hair, especially if you're using a clarifying shampoo, you're stripping your hair, you're stripping out any dirt and stuff. And if you don't have hair that gets dirty so often and so quickly, you're kind of doing it for nothing. If you're somebody whose hair really lasts a while and you don't really see any dandruff or significant dirt in it, you could go about a week and a half. Another tip is don't be afraid to trim your hair. If you see damage in your hair, if you see your ends look brittle, they don't look good, health over length. I'll preach that health over length till the end of the days. Don't just hold on to hair that is dying, that is just not giving, just to say you got a little length and you got some hair down your back. Cut it off, your hair will grow back. With that being said, that is all I have today for this video. I feel like I have a few more things I could talk about, but I don't want it to be too long. Let me know if you have any tips and tricks. You can put them down in the comments. That would help me next time I bleach, especially if you're a professional and you're actually a beautician. Please let me know anything I can improve on, and also put it down for someone else who's looking. Be confident, rock it out. If you're a black woman, you can definitely bleach and dye your hair. You got this, girl. It's gonna look fire. And I hope to see, you know, so many more people, you know, getting into bleaching and dyeing their hair and just going out there and doing it. Like, I think it's such an amazing process, and I just enjoy doing it. And wait to experiment with more colors. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.